Do you believe in coincidences? How big does one have to be? Or how many need to happen? Before it's mathematically impossible. Consider an area with a population of 260,000. I came home one day and found the 60-acre greenbelt that was my backyard was gone. Clear cut while I was away. Nothing but sticks and stumps had been left behind. Over the next few days, I noticed 2 new signs. One that could only be seen by me and the handful of folks I share my dead-end street with. And another that can only be seen when headed back to my home. These signs are important because for the 15 years I've lived here, I've watched everyone around me get internet, but the companies have refused to bring it to my street. I did everything I could think of. I begged and pleaded, promising to sign contracts for more expensive business accounts, to even offering to pay for the whole street service for a year. Still, they refused to bring it to my street. All the streets around me have it, just not my street, and I don't know why. So these signs, you see, they are a big deal. The signs helped me forget how awful the lumber company was. See, I couldn't get satellite when all the trees were there, blocking satellite azimuth to the sky, so I figured it might be a blessing in disguise. After all, what's done is done. The trees will eventually grow back, and with high-speed internet, I could set up my business at home, just like I always wanted. I called the number on the signs. Of course. My call was immediately answered by Mr. Pigeon. No automation, no hold time. Mr. Pigeon got out to my place quick, but it took him 2 full days to install the dishes. 1 internet and 1 for Dish TV. He promised a level of personal, small-town feel service. Pigeon told me not to call corporate. They'll just put you on endless hold, he said. He had recently moved to a neighborhood near me, he said. And being so close, he could help me anytime if anything ever went wrong, he said. Lucky for me, Pigeon was the salesman, the installation technician, the repairman, and even the billing department. A one-man operation. He could take care of everything. It didn't take long before we were chomping through all the data we were allowed. Month after month, the amounts we consumed were over the cap within days, not lasting anywhere near a full month. Pigeon told us it was because we watched TV. I said, I thought the TV was separate. Why, it's even got a different dish, and it's got a separate bill. So then it must have been our devices were auto-updating, and Pigeon advised us to turn off our update features. So we did. Then the TV service bellied up. Rather than bother Pigeon again so soon, I called corporate customer service. I thought they could just talk me through a reset over the phone, right? Wrong. They sent a technician out. The young tech walked between rooms and devices, scratching his head before finally admitting he had no idea what the problem was. He had not seen a setup like this one before and needed to call his boss. I watched as he paced back and forth behind the work truck he had parked in my driveway while talking to someone on his cell phone. When he finally came back in, he was holding a small black box. He plugged it into the wall, but it didn't attach to anything. He told me to check my service. It all worked great. Relieved, he left. Some time passed before I had a problem with the internet side of things again. I called Pigeon. While troubleshooting, I mentioned the service call from the corporate tech. Peter Pigeon's demeanor changed. He started drilling me about what the tech had done. I could tell he was not happy that I had called corporate. During that conversation, he claimed I had already told him things I knew I had not. Positive, I had not disclosed certain things to him. Out of curiosity, I unplugged the small box the corporate tech had installed. Nothing happened to either my internet or my TV. The small box had no purpose at all. I found a different service provider and canceled my service with Mr. Pigeon. Do you remember Nathan Lynch? Nathan Lynch is the police officer my security cameras captured, unlawfully entering my private property when no one was home. Several times. I'm asking if you remember Officer Lynch because, you see, Mr. Pigeon revealed that he knew things I didn't tell him, things about Officer Lynch coming to my home. I decided to take a closer look at Pigeon and, well, let me show you. This site is pretty good. Not everything is accurate. You have to use what you know to extract relevant information. For example, I know that Pigeon used to live at the Ridge at McCormick. He told me himself when he installed my satellite. Here's a pigeon, but is it the one we're looking for? Scrolling down to locations. If an address is listed at the Ridge, then we know we have the right Mr. Pigeon. There it is, 2748 Chabirin. Let's go take a look. He wasn't kidding. He lived pretty close to me. According to Google, only about 3,000 feet away. Here's a straight line from Pigeon's house to mine. If I didn't know better, I'd think my satellite dishes point straight to his house. Could it be? Here's a site that shows you what direction your dish should point. My dish should, and does, point in that direction. Now let's see just how far off that line Pigeon's place is. I superimposed the Google map line over the dish pointer line, and I'm switching them back and forth as I align them so you can judge for yourself. Just a coincidence? Now, keep this all in mind as I go back to why I asked you if you remember Nathan Lynch. Let's take another look at 2748 Jabirin. We can see everyone who's ever lived at that address or received mail at that address. Follow it back to who else has lived there. Is it still a coincidence? I scroll so you can see I'm not switching to a different page. Remember, the population was over 260,000. What are the odds? Was Mr. Pigeon really Nathan Lynch's carrier pigeon? I'm still searching for why. Do you believe in coincidences?